In the heart of Saigon, where the river whispers secrets, TNH navigates a life of hardship and sacrifice. By night, she rows a boat on the Saigon River, entangled in a world ruled by Tiku, a man who demands management money for her work. When her husband and son unexpectedly visit, a chain of events unravels, leading to a chilling murder mystery. As Captain Ichoing investigates a brutal crime, TN's past and present collide, exposing hidden truths and testing familial bonds. This gripping tale of loyalty, betrayal, and redemption will keep you on the edge of your seat. On the Saigon River, there is a row of boats. Tonight, TNH rows her boat to the middle of the river. The boat doesn't belong to TNH. Every month, Tiku comes to collect a fee, calling it management money. Only women who pay this fee are allowed to do that job on the Saigon River. But tonight, TNH isn't working. She has guests at home. TNH sits at the bow of the boat, a half-lit cigarette pinched between her fingers. She doesn't smoke it, just gazes at her husband and son huddled in the boat's cabin, her brows slightly furrowed. She never expected them to come. Since leaving her hometown for Saigon, they hadn't visited her once. TNH stubs out the cigarette, tossing the butt into the river, then steps down into the cabin. The man looks at her with hesitation, wanting to say something, but unable to speak. The boy, her son, doesn't look at her either, just sits clutching a corn cob, nibbling at it carefully. TNH breaks the silence. Vietnamese, isn't the money I sent back enough? Vietnamese replies, it's enough. We haven't spent it all, we've saved it. Then is something wrong at home? Vietnamese looks up, placing a hand on the back of hers, and says, it's about T. He's old enough for middle school now. TNH pulls out a few polymer bills from her pocket and presses them into her husband's hand. Is it about school fees? No, it's not that. Vietnamese pushes the money back. I want T to come to Saigon to study. He continues, the teachers in our hometown have all left. The ones still there don't know much. If he studies in Saigon, he'll have a chance to go to university. Staying in the countryside, he'd only end up farming. T's always been at the top of his class. It'd be a shame not to give him this chance. I know you're worried, but don't be. I've thought it through. He can board at school, so you won't have to worry about him. Plop. T tosses the eaten corn cob into the river. TNH and Vietnamese look at their son. He wipes his nose and says, Dad, I don't want to go to Saigon. T, come on. Vietnamese gently taps his son's head. What do you know? This is all for your future. Enough. The fog's getting thicker tonight. Let's head back and talk tomorrow, TNH says, tossing the paddle to Vietnamese and stepping out of the cabin. That night, the family of 3 sleeps on the boat. Vietnamese, to save money, refuses to stay at a guest house, and TN's shared rental isn't suitable for bringing them back to. The boat has blankets and bedding, enough to get through the night. As TNH slips under the blanket, Vietnamese large hand reaches for her from behind. Having just reunited with his wife, he's restless. Over the years in Saigon, this woman has changed. She's no longer the same. Her skin is fairer, her hair styled in alluring curls, her lips painted red, her speech soft and refined, like a city woman. He almost didn't recognize her. TNH pushes his hand away, whispering, What are you doing? Our son's right here, he's asleep. The boy sleeps like a log. It's fine. I'm tired from the long day. Go to sleep. TNH pushes his hand away again. What's wrong? Others can touch you, but I can't. Vietnamese whispers, his tone firm. TNH sits up abruptly. What do you mean? They pay for it. You, on the other hand, take my money. Don't you know that? Vietnamese, silenced by her words, sighs and turns away to sleep. Soon, he's snoring loudly. But TNH can't sleep. Vietnamese proposal weighs heavily on her. Since leaving her hometown, she rarely returns, only sending money back to Vietnamese regularly. She sees her son a handful of times a year, and over time, they've grown distant. Now her husband wants to bring T to Saigon to study. She doesn't know how to live with a grown boy or whether he'll be bullied because of her job. City kids aren't like village kids, they're as cunning as adults. TNH rolls over, looking outside. The fog grows thicker, obscuring everything. The women at the dock have all gone home, and the surroundings are silent. Let dawn come soon, TNH thinks, closing her eyes. The next morning, Fiancéing takes a bus back to the countryside. TNH takes her son to eat Saigon steamed buns. The boy eats so eagerly that oil drips down his chin. After finishing, he asks, "Mom, can we come back tomorrow?" TNH pauses, her eyes stinging, and replies, "Sure, if you want to eat, I'll bring you here every day." Just then, her phone rings. TNH pulls it from her pocket, a strange number. She hesitates for a few seconds before answering. "Hello?" There's static on the other end, then a man's voice. "Is this Miss TNH?" "Yes, who's this?" "I'm Ho from the Saigon City Criminal Police." "Do you know Turn Thigh?" "Yes, she's my housemate." TNH grips the phone with both hands. "Are you free to come back here for a bit?" "Officer, what happened?" "Don't worry. We received a report from a resident. After investigation, we suspect Miss Thigh was murdered. We need to ask you some questions." "All right, I'll come right away." TNH hangs up, her expression panicked. It's only when her son asks, "Mom, what's wrong?" that she snaps out of it. "Oh, nothing. I have to go handle something. If you meet the police later, don't say anything. Got it?" T looks at her nervously. "Mom," TNH pats his shoulder. "Don't worry. I'm here. It'll be fine." When TNH arrives at their shared rental with her son, the area is cordoned off with police tape, surrounded by a crowd. The door is wide open, but she can't see inside. Several uniformed officers move in and out, some digging in the ground with shovels. An old man, trembling, tells the crowd, "Last night, I went out to use the bathroom and heard a woman scream. This morning, the door was unlocked, so I pushed it open to check. My God, the place was a mess, like it had been robbed. No one was there. I felt something was wrong and reported it to the police. When I came back from buying vegetables at noon, the house was sealed off. They said it was to preserve the crime scene." The old man speaks loudly, repeating the story as if to prove he uncovered a shocking secret. The house TNH and Turn Thigh rent is near the main road, by the Saigon River, with a few neighboring households. TNH knows the old man, he lives nearby. The area is surrounded by bushes, and the house has a tin door, usually locked from the inside. It has 2 rooms, one for TNH, one for Thigh, and a shared outdoor bathroom. "Officer, I'm Thigh's housemate. What happened to her?" TNH approaches an officer. "Are you TNH? Captain Hoang is waiting for you." The officer shouts inside, "Captain Hoang, TNH is here." A tall, lanky man in black steps out. He yells at the crowd, "Disperse. What's there to see? Don't interfere with police work." He removes his gloves and walks straight to TNH. "Hello, I'm Hoang. Didn't expect you to come so quickly. Let's talk over there." He points to a nearby shaded pavilion. TNH instructs her son, "T, go play by the river. I'll call you when I'm done. Don't go far." Hoang watches the boy walk away and asks, "That's your son?" "Yes." They sit at a stone table in the pavilion and begin talking. "Where were you last night?" Hoang asks, pulling out a notebook and pen. "Last night, I was at the dock. My husband and son came to visit, and we slept on the boat. I didn't come back here. People at the dock can vouch for me," TNH replies. Hoang continues, "How long have you and Miss Thigh lived here?" "I've been here about 5 years. I moved in last August." 5 years? That long? Hoang looks up at her. "The rent's cheap, and it's close to my work. You mean that job at the dock, right? I did the same, didn't she?" TNH lowers her head, unsure how to respond. Hoang says, "Don't worry, that's not under our jurisdiction. Just answer honestly. Do you know what relationship I had with Tiku? Tiku, Hoing clarifies, LVN KH. They were lovers. Did I ever tell you anything? Like if they had any conflicts, TNH replies, they fought often. They told me KH would beat her when drunk. Once, she was covered in bruises, even had a broken nose, and couldn't work at the dock for days. Why did she stay with him? Because she didn't have to pay the management fee. We all paid KH, but I didn't. Have you seen KH recently? TNH shakes her head. No, I don't know him personally. He only comes to collect money. Hoing closes his notebook and stands. That's all for today. Thanks for cooperating. We'll contact you if needed. Oh, and you can't stay in this house for now. Find another place. TNH stands, quickly asking, Captain Hoing, can I ask what happened to Thai? Captain Hoing. A voice calls from afar. We found the body. TN's legs give out, and she collapses onto the stone bench. Thai is dead. T, seeing the officer leave, approaches and whispers, Mom, was it the man from last night who killed her? What? TNH stares at her son, stunned. T says, I saw the police showing his photo to someone nearby. TNH grabs his shoulders. Listen, last night we didn't see that man. We don't know where he was. We slept on the boat all night and saw no one. If anyone asks, that's what you say. Got it? He frowns, his eyes resolute. But he's a bad man. He deserves to die. Slap. TNH strikes him. Do you understand what I said? T holds his face, muttering, I understand. TNH glances at the busy police in the distance, pulls her son, and hurries toward the main road. She just wants to leave this place as fast as possible. That evening, Hoing returns to the station. After a day of meetings and no food, his stomach growls. Entering the office, he grabs a pack of instant noodles from the cabinet, heading to make hot water. A young female officer, Thang, approaches with a report. Captain Hoing, the fingerprint results are in. 3 people were at the scene, Thai, TNH, and LVN KH. Their prints were recorded during a previous anti-prostitution sweep at the dock, so the system matched them quickly. Thai's room is covered in KHN's prints on a beer bottle, the door handle, and the knife buried with the body. We also found KHN's semen on the bed. The evidence is clear. God, I'm exhausted from running around all day, a slightly chubby officer complains as he enters. Seeing Hoing, he reports, Captain, staff at Min Eng bus station said a limping man bought a ticket to Eng this morning, but they're not sure it was KH. He didn't board the bus. Normally, buses leave on time without checking passenger info, but a child went missing this morning, so they paid closer attention and confirmed no disabled man like KH was on board. We checked KH's house too. He lives alone, and nothing's missing. I've stationed a team there. He might have known the bus station was being watched and didn't board. He could have taken a motorbike taxi. Phi, take a team to check motorbike taxis and send another to KH's place. Hoing orders. Yes sir, I'm on it. Hoing turns to Thang. What about the surveillance cameras? Any leads? We're still checking, she replies. Hoing grabs his noodle pack and says to the team reviewing footage, anything yet? No leads all night. Listen to Phi, focus on the Min Eng bus station cameras. Be thorough. Thang takes the noodles from Hoing. Captain, let me cook these for you. Hoing sits at a desk, reviewing his notebook. Suddenly, he stops and calls, Thang, come here. She brings the cooked noodles. Captain, don't rush. Let them soak. It's not about the noodles. Hoing turns, hand on the chair's back. Have we checked Tian's room? Yes. There's some blood on her floor, but it's hers. KHN's fingerprints are on her table, but they don't connect to Thai's death or prove anything. Thang sets the noodles down, holding chopsticks as she explains. Hoing takes the chopsticks, eating the undercooked noodles. It proves TNH lied. In a cramped room with yellowed wallpaper, an old TV plays the news. T sits on the floor, watching intently. On the night of October 21st, a woman named Thai was murdered at a rented house by the Saigon River. Police recovered her body behind the house. According to our reporter, the police have identified a suspect. TNH enters, carrying two instant noodle packs, pushing the door open with her foot. She places them on a red wooden table by the wall and calls, "T, come eat. Stop watching." She steps over, clicks off the TV, and sits with her son to eat. T doesn't look at her, eating his noodles with sweat beading on his forehead. TNH wipes it with a tissue. "Eat slowly." T sips the noodle broth, sniffles, and says, "Back home, Grandma only let me eat instant noodles during TT." TNH pauses, pushing her bowl toward him. "Have mine too." "Eat more, aren't you hungry, Mom?" T asks. "No." TNH stands, lies on the bed by the window, and turns away. She's not hungry, truly. Since learning of Thai's death, she's been too anxious to eat. The landlord found her a new place, and it took all afternoon to settle. She's exhausted but can't sleep. Every time she closes her eyes, she sees Tikui's face sinking beneath the water. "Captain Hoang, we found Tiku on the cameras." Hoang jolts awake, unaware he dozed off in his chair, a jacket draped over him. He puts it on and steps to the camera monitors. "Captain, this is from Min Ang bus station. At 6:09 a.m., we caught Tiku entering, then going into the bathroom by the main gate's left side. He never came out," a bespectacled officer with red eyes and stubble explains, pointing at the screen. "Never came out." Hoang leans closer, skeptical. "You're sure there's no footage of him leaving?" Hoang rewinds, observing, then says, "Can we enhance the image?" He pauses and zooms in. The figure wears a cap, mask, and yellow jacket, making the face hard to identify. "It's been processed," the officer says, switching to another image. "This is from the camera near Tikui's house yesterday afternoon. He wore the same outfit. Tiku has a congenital limp in his right leg, a clear trait. In the bus station footage, he limps on the right leg too. It's definitely him." "Good. Thou, after reviewing the cameras, take a team to the bus station bathroom tomorrow morning to trace Tikui's escape route." Hoang checks his watch. 10 p.m. He turns to Thang. "Tell everyone we'll meet tomorrow morning. Go home for now." A warrant for Tikui's arrest is quickly issued. TNH sees it while taking T to register for school, posted at a bus stop near the campus, surrounded by a chattering crowd. She stares for 2 minutes, then steps back, pulling her son away, her throat tightening. "Mom, what's wrong?" T asks. "Nothing." Seeing her heavy expression, T doesn't press further. A week passes. TNH avoids contacting her husband and doesn't return to the dock. When regular clients call, she says she's quit and tells them to find someone else. TE's school was recommended by a friend from the dock. That woman got lucky. After a few days at the dock, she met a clothing merchant, married him quickly, and became a stepmother to a boy nearly her age. She said over the phone, "What's the big deal? I'll have a kid with Mr. Ving, and it'll be fine." TNH laughed in agreement, then asked about her son's schooling. The friend immediately agreed, providing a contact number and address. At the school, they're greeted by the head cook, a middle-aged man in a white uniform. TNH tries to slip him a pack of cigarettes, but he declines. "No need to be polite. Your friend sponsors our uniforms every year. This is the least we can do. Besides, the boy's a top student. We teach kids, we can't waste talent." It's the first time TN's been called ma'am. Unaccustomed, she nods. Yes, it's all for the kids." He leads them inside, pointing out, "This stadium's new. We're the only school with a rubber track. PE classes are held here." To the right is the arts building, where gifted students study painting, acting, and music. Listen, someone's playing the piano. Up ahead is the library. TNH listens, passing the stadium, watching youthful faces run by. She straightens her back, unsure what trees line the path, but their breeze carries a pleasant scent. Her mood lightens. She grips T's hand tighter. Do you like this place? I do, T replies. Me too, TNH says. That day, after finishing school paperwork, TNH takes T for Saigon steamed buns. At their feet are bags of supplies bought for his dorm. TNH mixes dipping sauce and slides it to him. Study hard at school. On holidays, I'll take you out for good food. Don't think about anything else. Okay, T stirs the sauce with his chopsticks. Mom, you're not going back to the dock, right? No, TNH replies. Then find a different job, T says softly. Without hesitation, TNH agrees. Okay. T eats eagerly, barely swallowing before saying, Mom, don't worry, I'll study really hard. T-Ku is found. Ho-ing stands in the morgue, facing a body so bloated from soaking in water it's unrecognizable. The stench is overwhelming. The body surfaced on the Saigon River, spotted by a nearby fisherman. When pulled up, its clothes were tattered. Forensic Dr. H. Tootney removes her mask and gloves, finishing her notes while sucking on a chocolate. Congratulations, Captain Ho-ing. Thai's case can be closed. What do you mean? Thai died on October 21st, 10 days ago. Though T-Kui's body has been in the water too long to pinpoint the exact time of death, it's at least a week. Cause of death, drowning. Full report tomorrow. You're saying he killed himself out of guilt. I can't conclude that. He could have slipped and fallen into the water. No. On the morning of October 22nd, T-Ku was at Min Ang bus station, showing signs of fleeing. Why would someone escaping kill themselves? And the river's far from the station. If he wanted to escape, why go to the riverbank? Ho-ing rubs his chin, pacing. It's a habit when he's deep in thought. Tootney, familiar with it, stands quietly, arms crossed. 5 minutes later, Ho-ing stops, as if realizing something. Tootney asks, what? Figured something out. Ho-ing grabs his jacket. This case isn't over. He leaves. An hour later, Ho-ing stands in a narrow alley, studying a wall. Vi, covering his mouth, stands beside him. Behind them is the window of the Min Ang bus station bathroom. Cameras show T-Ku disappear here. Last week, Ho-ing and Thao investigated. This wall leads to a vacant lot. T-Ku must have climbed through the window and over the wall to escape. Vi doesn't understand what's left to see. T-Ku is dead, clearly a suicide. Shouldn't the case close? Vi, climb that wall, Ho-ing says suddenly. Me, hurry up. You expect me to do it? Vi, knowing Ho-ing's temperament, complies. He steps back for a running start, but the alley's too narrow. He jumps, grabbing a crevice, but it's too shallow. He slides down halfway. No good, Captain. It's too slippery. Before finishing, Vi falls flat. Ho-ing pulls him up. Let's go. Vi glances back at the wall, following Ho-ing. Captain, I couldn't climb it. T-Ku, with his bad leg, definitely couldn't. But if he didn't climb, how'd he disappear? You're too focused on his leg. I don't get it, Captain. Ho-ing stops. Still don't understand. The person in the camera wasn't T-Ku. His phone rings. Thao's voice, Captain, you were right. The bathroom camera from October 22nd shows someone leaving 10 minutes after T-Ku entered. It's in VNCing. I sent the photo to your phone. Good. I owe you a soda. Ho-ing pats Vi's shoulder. Later, Ho-ing sits at a tea shop near the bus station, sipping soda through a straw, watching Vi show photos to motorbike taxi drivers. As dusk falls, Ho-ing pulls his jacket tighter and shouts, "Any leads yet?" Vi waves back. "Captain, we got something." A young man leans against his bike, taking a cigarette from Ho-ing and speaking slowly. "He's from my village, in Vietnamese. That morning, I asked why he was leaving after just one night. Everyone in the village knows what his wife does. He probably couldn't handle staying. Men can't stand their wives doing that. Knowing is one thing, seeing it is another, right? He said he brought his son to study, and was done. Oh, he got off the bus before reaching the village. Said he wanted to walk. It was dark already, officer. In Vietnamese didn't do anything illegal, did he? At the supermarket, spices are neatly ranged. TNH, in a green uniform, kneels to attach price tags. She likes this job. In the spice aisle, she helps customers pick soy sauce for salads or the spiciest hot pot broth. They often thank her. She stands all day but doesn't feel tired. This small corner makes her believe this world is different from that one. Is that TNH? A voice calls from above. TNH looks up, startled to see two officers standing nearby. We need your cooperation for a case. Come with us. TNH finishes attaching a tag, stands, removes her uniform, and places it on the shelf. Let's go. In the interrogation room, TNH faces Captain Hoàng and a female officer. The officer pours her water, and TNH nods in thanks. Hoàng leans forward, locking eyes with her. We found Tikui's body. TNH looks up, meets his gaze, then quickly looks down. Did you meet Tiku on the night of October 21? I told you last time. I didn't see him, TNH replies. You lied. I'm talking about your relationship with Tiku. You were lovers, weren't you? TNH goes silent, her face pale. Hoàng, sensing he's right, continues. When you were with Tiku, he often beat you. Even after he was with Thai, you couldn't escape his control. I don't know if you loved or hated him. Loved. I only stayed with him to avoid the management fee. So you hated him. That's why, on the night of October 21st, on the boat, you killed him, right? No. I didn't see him. I didn't kill him. It wasn't me. TNH says, agitated. Hoàng places a photo in front of her. TNH glances at it and looks away. This is Tikui's body. You might not recognize him now. There's a wound on the back of his head. At first, I thought it was from hitting the riverbed, but we checked your boat, and the wound matches a protruding wooden edge. There's also blood residue from Tiku in the cabin. Hoàng lays out more photos. Thai was killed by Tiku around p.m. on October 21st. At 6:09 a.m. on October 22, Tiku, wearing this outfit, appeared in the bus station bathroom camera. But it wasn't him, it was your husband, in Vietnamese. He wore Tikui's clothes, pretending to be him, entered the bathroom, and left 10 minutes later with a black plastic bag containing Tikui's clothes. Then he took a motorbike taxi back to your village, got off 2 kilometers away, and buried the clothes and phone in the woods. These are the camera images and the dug-up clothes. This means Tiku was dead before a.m. on October 22nd. Your husband was only in Saigon for a day. You said your family slept on the boat all night, and the boat has evidence of Tikui's injury. So, the only place he could have died is at the dock. Your house and Thai's are a 20-minute walk from the dock. If I'm right, after killing Thai, a drunk Tiku came to the dock to harass you. Your husband and son were there, and you, humiliated, pushed him into the river. No, I didn't kill anyone. I don't know anything. TN's voice weakens, tears streaming down. Seeing her falter, Hoàng presses. After Tiku drowned, you feared his disappearance would draw attention, so in Vietnamese posed as him to make it look like he fled. But you didn't know he'd killed someone earlier. Our investigation exposed your unnecessary act. Hoàng leans closer. Honestly, your husband, in Vietnamese, has been arrested. He confessed everything. Leniency comes with honesty. Resistance brings harsh punishment. Tell me, what happened that night? TNH stares at Hoàng cold face, time seeming to freeze. In the silence, she hears her teeth chatter, tasting the salt of her tears. This day came too soon. When TNH was born, her father left with another woman. That's what her mother said, but TNH guessed her mother didn't hate him. Though her mother bore the family's burdens alone, she'd say while working, a house without a man won't do. TNH heard this growing up. When she came of age, her mother married her to in Vietnamese, a man from the next village. Both villages were poor. Marriage changed nothing, but her mother was satisfied with Vietnamese because he helped with farm work. On Tian's wedding day, her mother held her hand and said, "There's no room to be picky. A woman needs a man." A year after marriage, TNH gave birth. Farming wasn't enough, so Vietnamese suggested she go out to earn money. He echoed her mother. He farmed for both families and cared for her bedridden mother. A house without a man wouldn't do. TNH followed a villager to the Saigon River dock. New women at the dock often resisted the work, needing time to adjust. Not TNH. On her first day, in front of everyone, she undressed, brewed tea skillfully, and sat at the bow, waiting, as if she'd lived there for years. This drew Tikui's attention. To him, she was obedient, easy to control. They naturally came together. Tiku waived her management fee and handled difficult clients. TNH was content with his protection, even when he beat her while drunk. She never complained. Unlike Thai, who was young, complained often, resisted, and even dreamed Tiku would be exclusive to her. Perhaps that's why she met her fate. Too impulsive. That night, drunk, Tiku stabbed Thai. She was too loud, he just wanted her quiet. At AM on October 22, the Saigon River dock was silent, shrouded in thick fog. TNH was sleeping when the boat rocked violently. Half awake, she opened her eyes and saw a figure at the bow under the faint moonlight. It was Tiku. He approached, reeking of alcohol. TNH stood quickly, not wanting to wake her husband and son, and asked, "What are you doing here?" Tiku didn't answer, tossing his shirt aside, muttering, "So annoying." Vietnamese woke up. TNH explained, "He's the manager here. He needs to talk to me." Vietnamese glanced at the man, nodded, and said, "I'll step out for a smoke. You two talk." As Vietnamese left, Tiku grabbed TNH. TNH, you're still the best." That girl didn't listen. "Let's make up. I won't hit you anymore, okay?" He tried to undress her. TNH glanced at her son in the cabin but was pinned down by Tiku. Get off, she pushed, but he was too strong. In a panic, she kicked his stomach. He stumbled, hitting the cabin's edge hard. TNH scrambled up, looking at her son. T stood in the corner, eyes wide with shock, filled with confusion, anger, and hatred. Before she could speak, Tiku kicked her back. "You whore, you dare hit me. You're done." He grabbed her hair, dragging her to the boat's edge, and pushed her head into the water. T, watching, trembled, frozen in place. "Don't hit my mom," he screamed, rushing forward, biting Tikui's leg. Tiku let go, and TNH gasped, coughing violently. Regaining her senses, she saw Tiku grab a chair and advance on T. "You little brat, you dare attack me? I'll kill you." Seeing her son in danger, TNH acted without thinking, charging at Tiku. With strength from nowhere, she pushed him into the river. Splash. Silence followed. Vietnamese, hearing the commotion, ran back. In the dark, he saw TNH drenched, pale, and T sitting in the cabin, eyes vacant. On the river, the limping man was half submerged. "Save him. Quick." Vietnamese jumped in, trying to pull him up. TNH helped. "Why'd he fall?" Vietnamese asked, struggling. "He was bullying T. I got desperate and pushed him. Check on him first." They dragged Tiku up. TNH collapsed, exhausted, pointing at him. "Check him." Vietnamese felt for a pulse. Nothing. The body was still. He froze, stammering, "It's over. He's dead." TNH sobbed. "How's he dead? What do we do? I don't want to go to jail." After crying, she looked at Vietnamese, panicking. "You tell me, so many people go missing every year. One more won't be noticed, right, Mom?" T stood behind her. TNH turned, seeing him stare at the body, and pulled him into the cabin. "What are you doing out here? Are you hurt? Let me check." "No, I'm fine, good. Stay here and don't worry about anything, okay?" After settling TNH returned to see Vietnamese by the body. He was calm now, looking at her. You're right. This river claims countless lives yearly. Toss him back, and no one will notice. Tonight, it's just us three. No one knows. TNH looked at the river. The fog was lifting, the water reflecting gray. Dawn was near. TNH steadies herself, her expression shaken, and says slowly, I didn't expect him to die. Hoang senses she's about to confess. His breathing slows, eyes fixed on her. A knock interrupts. Phi enters. Captain, sorry to disturb. Hoang frowns, follows him out, and closes the door. What is it? Phi lowers his voice. Vietnamese confessed everything. He said he pushed the man into the water. Thang also questioned T at school, and the boy said it was Vietnamese. How long was the interrogation? Phi checks his watch. Half an hour, no time to discuss. Come inside with me. Hoang and Phi return, swapping places with the female officer. Hoang glances at TNH, noticing a change. She's calm now, holding the water cup, leaning back in her chair. Continue the story, Hoang says. TNH speaks, you're not wrong. That night, Tiku, drunk, came to the dock. He got on the boat and tried to assault me. I resisted, and he hit me. Vietnamese couldn't stand it and fought him. Officer, my husband pushed him into the water to save me. After, Vietnamese told me the river claims many lives yearly, and Tikui's fall wouldn't be noticed. Near dawn, he wore Tikui's clothes, told me not to worry, and left. That morning, I got your call. But Vietnamese said you pushed him, Captain. Phi interjects softly. Hoang knows this tactic bends protocol but wants to push further. His years of experience tell him TN's lying. Officer, it wasn't me. How could a woman like me have that strength? Vietnamese pushed him in a rush to save me. He didn't expect him to drown. No more to gain here. Hoang leans back. All right, you can go. TNH leaves the station as the afternoon sun blazes. She closes her eyes, trying to calm herself, recalling that night when Vietnamese dragged Tikui's body back to the river. He said, from now on, remember my words. At dawn, I'll wear his clothes and go somewhere far from the dock. If anyone notices he's missing, they won't suspect this place. If the body's found and they investigate you, blame it all on me. Say he harassed you, and I killed him. You've been in Saigon long enough. Only you can give T a good school. I've got no skills, and I've made you suffer all these years. This is all I can do. After TNH leaves, Phi sighs. Captain, can we close this case? Hoang rubs his chin. Something's off. What? We have witnesses, evidence, and Vietnamese confession. Think about it. If Vietnamese killed him, just dispose of the body. Why impersonate Tiku and show up at the bus station? It draws attention to him. And he confessed too quickly, clearly protecting TNH. That's just your hunch, no proof. Their statements are the strongest evidence, and the higher-ups are pressing, Phi mutters. Hoang pats his shoulder. Let's eat first, Mom. A clear voice calls. TNH, arranging supermarket shelves, smiles at her son. In just a week, he seems taller. Mom, this supermarket's huge. It's got everything, way bigger than the one at school. TNH kneels to brush dirt off his pants. Look at you, probably playing around, getting your clothes dirty. I played soccer with friends this afternoon. He's fitting in at school, different now in middle school. TNH says, wait over there. I'm almost done. Then I'll take you for good food, Mom. It's that man. T suddenly looks behind her, alarmed. TNH turns to see Hoang pushing a cart. Oh, coincidence. You work here now? Yes, I changed jobs. Captain Hoang, shopping alone? Ha, I'm single. Just grabbing some food. Hoang glances at the boy behind TNH. Your son, right? Met him before. Yes, he's visiting for the weekend. Hoang sighs. It won't be easy, a widow and her son. The boy's been through a lot. Parents can't just think of themselves, they've got to consider their kids. Oh, Vietnamese likely facing execution. Take the boy to visit him. You haven't gone since this happened. He risked everything for you too. You won't see him again. TN's face stiffens, her throat making a strange choking sound. T starts to speak, but she covers his mouth. She nods, staying silent. HOA pretends not to notice, rummaging in his cart. I'm off to buy meat. Won't bother you. Before TNH can react, T shoves her away and bolts outside without looking back. TNH chases him but loses him on the street. Where did he go? What if something happens? Panic rising, tears stream down her face. Returning to the supermarket, she spots T behind a flower bed, clutching his arms, sobbing. TNH approaches. T looks up, eyes wet. You lied to me. You said if I followed your words, Dad would come back soon. You killed that man, so why does Dad have to die? I hate you. You're a liar. TNH freezes, speechless. In her son's heart, his father matters more. Of course Vietnamese raised him, but the money they lived on came from her hard work. What right does he have to yell at her? She pulls T up. Listen, this was your father's choice. Only I can get you into a good school. Look at this uniform. This bag, didn't I buy them? I'll pay for your college too. What can your father do besides farm? T cries harder. But he's my dad. You never cared about me. I want him. He yanks free and runs off. TNH covers her face, collapsing. Still in her uniform, the cold seeps through, numbing her limbs. Her tears fall, unfelt. She can't catch him and sobs on the ground. In her mother's eyes, a house needs a man. In her son's, he needs his father. This world hasn't changed at all. When HON arrives at the station, Phi's waiting. Captain, Chief Elm called. If we don't close the Kui's case, he's coming to end it himself today. HON hangs his jacket. Fine, we'll close it today. Phi looks relieved, but Thang enters with a woman. Captain, urgent matter to report. HON looks up to see TNH in a silk dress. She says, I'm here to confess. Outside, rain begins to fall. The sky remains overcast. T sits in class, swelteringly uncomfortable despite shedding his jacket. The bell's about to ring. He glances at his textbook. An hour ago, his teacher called, T, come out here. Through the window, he saw TNH in the hallway, looking into the class. He followed her to the school courtyard, sitting on a stone bench. TNH pulled a plastic bag from her purse, containing hot steamed buns. Have you eaten breakfast? These are from the shop you like. T took them but didn't plan to eat. TNH said, I got you some clothes. They're at the dorm. Try them. They might be a bit big. We wear uniforms here. You didn't need to buy them. If there's nothing else, I'm going back to class. TE's tone was cold. TNH nodded. Study hard. T didn't reply, heading to the classroom building. On the stairs, he glanced back. His mother still stood in the courtyard. Annoyed, he tossed the buns into a trash bin. Since childhood, T knew what his mother did in Saigon. Village gossip reached his ears. If she didn't do that job, would his father be caught in a murder case? That night, the limping man was her boss, wasn't he? He pinned her down, stripping her clothes. Even now, thinking of it makes T nauseous. In the chaos, when TNH pushed him into the water, T felt relief. He's dead, so she won't do that job anymore, right? Later, hiding in the cabin, he saw his father pull the man up and talk with his mother. T crept out, noticing the man's left hand twitch, nails scraping the sand. Startled, he gasped, Mom, what are you doing out here? T glanced at the body. The hand stopped moving. Are you hurt? TNH pulled him into the cabin. No, I'm fine, T said, looking at her. His desk mate nudges him. T, was that your mom who came? T shakes his head. No, just a relative. The bell rings, and kids rush out into the white world beyond the window. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories.